We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools.
So, living together as brothers or perish together as fools, it really speaks to me about communication. If we're not working together to create with each other, if we're not working together to make this world a better place, then what are we doing?
We have to learn to live in harmony and live together. In the words of Dr. King, we have to live as one entity instead of two separate sides.
I feel like we've come on this earth the same way and we're all going out, not like dying the same way, but we're all going down in a box. So it just frustrates me how we're treated differently because of the race we are. Why can't we just be on earth together as one?
You have to look at each person and realize that they are different from you, but be able to accept that and learn from them also.
I think he meant we're going to end up destroying each other, and by the time we're all destroyed, it's going to come to fruition that was unnecessary. We could have lived together. We could have been living together in harmony and peace and love this whole time, but instead we were so focused on each other's differences that we wanted to destroy each other.
I would just say, just keep educating people. All my friends, did you hear about this situation going on? Just keep different topics going on, going into school, talking about things that happen in the world so that they're able to learn. Now I'm able to learn from it too, so I can go out in the world and try to do things differently so that this doesn't happen again.
I think it's important that we grow as a people and just continue to make this world a better place. I know I keep saying that, and that sounds so redundant, but it's really true. It's really true. We really just need to get together and realize that people are just people. I keep saying that, but I really mean it. People are just people,
The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education.
I think it shows that education is an holistic approach and that you can't just be book smart. You have to have character and trustworthiness, kindness, respect, and responsibility. And there's more to education than just reading a book and memorizing things. You have to understand it and use that to move forward and make this time better.
To me, I feel like you get education from school, but I think most of our education comes from outside of school because the experience that we come from, I have a totally different lifestyle than my friend. She comes from a higher class than I do. I come from the hood, they would call it. Things that I learned from there are different from what she learns in her household, and we come from two different places.
I agree that education is very important, and this is a very deep quote because it says that if we just stop at book lessons and we'll have a lot of people who can tell us facts, but we won't have people who can actually get things done, or when things are going bad, they'll know how to respond or how to act accordingly. You must teach them to think critically, and I think that's a good way to say it.
I think people who don't have the privilege of going to school, I think they really this is where they have to take responsibility. Because too many times I've heard, this person shot that person because this is all he knew. And I get that, but there are so many opportunities. Why can't you take that and maybe apply it to yourself and try and make yourself a better person?
It's not every second of the day we're working in our books. We have guidance counselors, and our teachers are not just pointing at the board all day. They connect things to interest us. We're not learning about just books. Our teachers apply things to our lives and help us move forward in our lives.
Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?
I think it means how am I contributing to society and how am I helping to better society as a whole, and what I can do together with my friends, family, and all of my peers around me to better society.
It means the goal in life is to make everyone happy and help everyone. You want to be effective not only to yourself in getting yourself successful, but you want to help to make others successful too.
I want to say I bring smiles to people's faces because I like the idea of like if someone's having a bad day, like just like a little thing like saying hi to them could change their day. The other day, one of the underclassmen came up to me. He said, "Thank you for saying hi to me in the hallway," because it just like something like so small like that. Like I don't even notice it. Like it's just hey in the hallway, but he said it like changes his whole day because like not everyone says hi to him.
The main thing that I do for others is I make them smile, and if they're down, then I try to make them think of the good things out of the bad, and basically I'm the jokester of the crew, so I make them laugh and I try to uplift them as best as I can.
I feel like they should volunteer at places like shelters, places like summer camps, anywhere where there's a big group of people that can be affected by you. That's where you should go.
I think it relates to the quote, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Because if someone does something wrong to you and you hate them for it, like you're both wrong because you're not gonna help anyone by hurting them or them hurting you. For us to like progress as society, we just have to all help each other like, to make the world a better place.
Well, I still think this would be one of life's most important questions because you could start to lose connection with the world around you and you could kind of seclude yourself. And I think you should always be thinking of how to help others and how to better things because nothing is perfect, but you can strive toward that and you can always work to better things.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to
justice everywhere.
What the quote means to me is that until there's justice or there's a correct response for every action, a correct consequence, once that's everywhere, you know, then it's good. But if there's one place where it's not just, then it's a threat to the places where it is just.
It means to me that, you know, when something bad happens somewhere that is unjust, that means that people are going to look at it and be like, oh, okay, well, I guess we can get away with that here too, since they got away with it. You know, just like how in Ferguson, with that cop, you know, killing Mike Brown, and then with Eric Gardner, the cop killing him, the chokehold is illegal, but they still did it and he got away with it. So I feel as though people everywhere are going to be like, oh, well, they got away with it, so I guess we are going to be able to as well.
It makes people think about what happens to other people. And then they kind of turn it on themselves and think, what if that happened to me? But what I think people should think about is, oh, there's injustice there. How can we fix it? We need to help them.
For it to be just, for things to be fair, it has to be just and fair everywhere, not just, you know, can't just be just us. It has to be like just this.
What I think that quote means to me, it just threatens your way of life. And just like good things and positive feelings can grow, so can negative things. And if there's something going on in the world that is just not right, then that might spread and people might think that's okay. They might think, you know, racism is okay, treating other people this way. And by stamping that out in our campus, in our community, that's gonna eliminate it completely. And that's, you know, the end goal.
Honestly, there are some people in this world that refuse to accept that we're all equal. And because of that fact, I don't think that we'll ever reach it. I hope that we do one day, but those people have to realize that we are all equal. We're all the same. Somewhere, someone has to change.
Of ruin, you'll see it all clear. How steep the fall is, how long the way back seems. On the verge of success, it's all white and fluffy. Horizons